Welcome back to Time Freedom Daily. This is your spot for your daily dose of nuggets on business building, motivation, investing, side hustle, crypto, all the stuff in between to help you reach your goals of financial freedom, time freedom, and all that stuff that goes with it. Chris, my brother, how you doing today?
I am fantastic. I got my note to remind you to hit that like button. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, help us out, share some info and positivity with with the people you know. So that would really help us out. But yeah, today's awesome. I'm aware that today's Thursday, which is a step in the right direction for me because I never know what day it is. So
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about the markets real quick. We're gonna do over a couple different things. Today is Side Hustle Thursday, so we're definitely gonna get in some side hustles. And today we're going to focus on side hustles for teens. So if you've got a child, or if you're younger and you're watching, this is going to be the stream for you. We're also going to talk about market dumps and what they truly mean. And is it really a correction, or is it a dump, or what is it, and why we got to stay strong in what we do? So Chris is going to talk about that. But right now, Chris, if you could bring up Live Coin Watch, that would be amazing.
I can't. Actually, I brought up Coin Market Cap.
Okay. Well, I'm going to look at my Live Coin. I'm going to try to read it because it's tough for me to read on your end. But market cap is down slightly on my Live Coin Watch. It's at about 2.94 trillion, which is down from yesterday. And we did have a dip. So if you can see behind me, today is a red day, but it is recovering quite nicely. The market cap had actually dipped to 2.8 and change. So we're definitely recovering. And those kind of dips and corrections, or dumps, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to go over that in a bit, are healthy for the markets. So if we go straight up so quickly, and we go up to that $150,000 Bitcoin, within a couple weeks, we are going to dump really hard. That's when you can see a 70-80% correction, because everybody's scared, because everybody's dumping. But when you have these little ebbs and flows in the market, and it's climbing, it's going up like this, and it's much more healthy. And if you actually look at the stock market and you zoom all the way out, you're going to see exactly that. So we're seeing a very similar trail as the stock market, but obviously in a much more condensed time frame. So right now, Bitcoin, it hit an all-time high yesterday of $68,780. It's down to 65. It dumped or corrected down to 62. Came back quite nicely. Ethereum, again, it hit all-time high yesterday at 48.61. It's recovered back to 47.59. It's definitely down less than Bitcoin, which is a good thing. Because you got a chance for some of the other altcoins to kind of catch up, and Bitcoin will breathe and consolidate where it's at before it makes its next leg up, and then all the other altcoins will start to catch up as well. So you're going to see a lot of red across the board, but again, the red numbers were definitely much more substantial earlier this morning, and they are definitely recovering. So that's always a good sense of feeling when you know that, look, we got people that are taking some profits. They dump the market. You see the whales. What happens is, we talk about this before, we have the whales. They see how much people are leveraged on the futures markets, and they're like, you know what? If I can get this to dip 5%, 6%, I'm going to clear out a lot of leverage buyers. They're going to lose their Bitcoin or whatever coin they're in, and that gives them the opportunity to buy at a lower price. So they're scooped up all the Bitcoin that was there at that $62,000, $63,000 price point, and now we're climbing back up over 65,000. So we know that these are coordinated events. There's nothing we can do about it. We just have to stay within ourselves, and Chris is going to go over that here in a minute. That's what we're doing. So going back to the traditional markets, we're about even today. It's not a red day or a green day. Things are looking like they should. So again, where are we at here on the
traditional markets?
Yes.
The S&P and NASDAQ are slightly up. The Dow is slightly down. So but it's all less than 1% move. So kind of
for sure
the usual.
Yeah, and aftermarket, we had Riot and Mara, which are the mining stocks that we talked about yesterday. They were down big time and recovered, and they're up again today. Tesla is up very, very slightly, but again, it's nowhere near the $1,250 that it was at just a few days ago before Elon made that tweet. And again, we do have some news to share with you that Chris will share here in a minute about what actually happened and what his plans are in the future. So overall, again, it's a healthy market. We're healthy. We're recovering. Again, we're finding out that the $3 trillion market cap is probably a little bit of a resistance right now, and we're bouncing off of that. And we're trying to make the $3 trillion market cap not resistance but support, and that's going to happen here shortly. Again, we have 20 some days before the end of the month, 20 days before the end of the month, and Plan B is calling for a $98,000 Bitcoin by the end of the month, and we may see that. Or very, very close. So we're definitely on his trajectory, and we're going to find out what happens here in the next 20 days. So, Chris, what else you got going on here?
Yeah, I'll bring up just a couple of things. Like you said, you were talking about Tesla, and in a filing this morning, Elon Musk listened to his Twitter followers, and he was a man of his word. He said he was going to have a poll, and whatever the poll said, he was going to do. And the poll said sell some Tesla stock. So he filed with the SEC this morning, sold 1.1 billion in stock. So a lot of the, he had to pay a tax obligation, but there is some chatter out there that he is going to put some more money into cryptocurrency. I guess he didn't need the whole 1.1 billion for a tax bill. So that could be entertaining. But yeah, speaking about yesterday, a couple things happened yesterday. Actually, I'll bring up this slide first. The U.S. inflation report came out for October. Consumer prices jumped 6.2. For October. That's a 31-year high. That's crazy. And for people that, if you don't think you're feeling it yet, like John said, what was the price of milk, the price of gas, the price of vehicles, the price of everything? When consumer prices jumped 6.2 in a month, that's astronomical. Right, John?
It also comes down to supply and demand. I mean, go to your grocery store and look at your shelves.
Oh, yeah.
They're empty. They're empty because of the logistics, everything trying to get everything to us. And what happens then? Well, if the supply is low and the demand is still there, prices go up. It's just economics 101. So, I really don't even know if I believe these numbers. I think 6.2% is low.
For a month, absolutely. That's a lot.
I get it, but I mean, you're looking at a gallon of milk that is literally over $1 more than it was 6 months ago.
Right.
That's huge. Right? I mean, a gallon of milk is more than a gallon of gas. Figure that one out. Basic things that we're consuming on a daily basis are more than things that are essential to run machinery and equipment and cars. So, I struggle with it. I'm not going to get political, but you can say that I'm not quite happy with the current administration. I'll leave it at that.
Gotcha. So yesterday, with inflation and the economies, kind of being built on this house of cards, Evergrande, which if you guys don't know, Evergrande is a Chinese company that owns a huge portion of real estate in China. Well, China, it represents about 25% of the world economy. Huge portion of our economy. That one company, Evergrande, represents a huge portion of that and their housing market. There was an erroneous article came out yesterday that they were going to miss their interest payment, which apparently they did end up making those interest payments. But this is the same company that a month ago kind of went into receivership and received a bailout from the Chinese government. Yesterday, when that report came out that they were going to miss their payments and go into bankruptcy hearings, that kind of really shook the market. And what we saw yesterday was a market shakeup that then, kind of started a a slinky going down the stairs effect.
Chain reaction for sure.
It spooked a lot of investors. A lot of the leverage traders were taken out of the market, and that represented another big step. And so one thing kind of after another, it really, I mean, John and I were watching the market, and we were like, whoa, like it was going. All said and done, really nothing fell over 10%. Pretty much everything came right back. You were watching it too, John. What did you think?
For sure. So, and I know you're going to get into this, but the most important thing that you have to try not to do in investing, right, is sell the red, right? You should always try to sell the green. So there are a lot of people, they get so scared that, it really cascades and creates a chain reaction effect on what's actually happening. And, it's just because of lack of knowledge or experience in markets like these. So, that's what I just want to tell you. It was, you're watching it. You're like, I think I was at the gym and I'm like, Chris, what'd I miss? And it was just some FUD, some news that really wasn't true that was put out there, and people panicking and selling, and then the whales use that as their entry point in there to start liquidating other people, and then one thing leads to another, and you get that correction, which brings it down. That, ironically enough, the whales buy up. It's strategic. Absolutely. It's what they want to do. They want to see that drop, see it right there, that red dip, right? So they make it go down, because they don't want to buy at $68,000. They want to buy at $62,000. They got their buy orders in. They know where they're going to start collecting again, and then they're getting the Bitcoin on sale. And that's really what happened. And unfortunately, there's people like you and me that are on some of these websites like Phoenix, and we have our 20 times leverage on our Bitcoin long that we're hoping that the price is going to go up. And next thing you know, if we don't have a stop loss, whatever we've invested is gone.
And that's why you use stop losses.
Yes.
But you're right. So what I wanted to kind of point out, if you are watching that close up, if you're this zoomed in, like when it starts going like this, you're like, OMG, what is going on? What we often tell people, we even have to tell each other, zoom out. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys. In the grand scheme of things, if we zoom out, and let's go on to a daily chart, and let me zoom out again. Now, it's just a tiny correction. Yeah. And if you stayed in, like what John said, all of a sudden that huge market dump, as some people were calling it, you realize that it was just a bump. And you can kind of see, I'll draw a quick line here for you guys. You can kind of see that we are still very much in this healthy uptrend. And you start to realize that, these corrections are, really just part of the market. And it is important, and it is whale games. But this is exactly why, like John just said, don't let the fear and the FUD get a hold of your principles and your plan. When you're investing, you should have a plan. You should have an entry plan. You should have an exit plan. Dollar cost averaging is a great plan on both ends of that. So yes, as we start getting up and up and up, take some profits so that when the whales do play those games, and they do drop the price by 6,000, 5,000 in a day, all of a sudden you can buy back in, because that asset that you were fond of a day ago, it's still the same asset. Now it's on sale. You can kind of buy back in. What do you think, John?
Absolutely. What I want to show, even further is go to the weekly and just show the weekly for a second, and you're going to see really.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Look at this. You're seeing we're going up. Are there some scary moments? There are, but it's all moving in the direction we want it to move, for sure. For sure. So absolutely. You got to learn how to have, they call them diamond hands, where you're holding on. This is why we're investing with money we don't need to pay our daily and weekly or monthly bills. This is money that we put aside in our budget, and we talked about budgeting before, that we invest in. So we understand that it's okay. It's all part. We know we're not trying to time the market. We're trying to have time in the market because that's when we're going to have exposure to the potentially life-changing wealth.
Mhm.
So, yeah, what else you got to add on this topic?
Well, also kind of on that same topic, one of the real smart people that John and I both like to listen to, Raoul Paul, former Goldman Sachs hedge fund manager, multi-millionaire, probably a billionaire at this point, very smart guy. He's actually, kind of talking about this exact same thing, and he was talking about the end of this cycle, which a lot of people think this market cycle is going to be done in December. He keeps saying over and over and over again, no, it's not December. I highlighted it right here. He's saying in Real Vision Reviews, Raoul Paul predicted that the current bull run won't end in December as it did in 15 and 17. It'll extend between March and June. But he did say we will probably have a sell-off and then it'll rip again because that is the path of most pain, and markets tend to take that path. And that's exactly, kind of what he's reiterating is that, the whales and the investors that got in very early, they are going to take profit as they should, and it will change the market. Elon Musk deciding to take some of his shares out at a huge profit, I mean, it's his company. He's allowed to take the profit.
For sure.
And that is what he did. Yes, it upset the market. Will it come back? Probably. There's a pretty good chance it's going to come back.
For sure.
Nobody has a crystal ball and knows when, but I thought that was very insightful. Raoul Paul is still expecting Bitcoin could hit $253,000 next year. So
absolutely, and he's calling for a pretty dramatic price on Ethereum as well. Which the funny thing is, he's more heavily invested in Ethereum right now than he is Bitcoin. He started out as a Bitcoin bull, and he still has some exposure. I want to say it's only 5% now, and I want to say he's almost 70% Ethereum. I was watching one of his interviews, but one of the things we really have to understand is we are not in 2017. Everything has changed. Mm-hmm. Everything has changed. 2017 was ran by social media, hype, and everything else that went along with that in the retail sector only. There was no businesses, no banks, no institutions, none of that stuff that was investing in Bitcoin in 2017.
And not much of the retail sector.
Right. So this time around, we have all of that, which is going to sustain the price longer because you have people that are in it for the long term that are going to hold their Bitcoin and their other cryptos for longer periods of time than just seeing what's going to happen in the next month or two. So just keep that in mind, which is why we're seeing everyone talk about an extension of this cycle or a mega cycle that is possibly happening, especially if we get spot ETFs approved. So again, just make sure you're following the right people. We're going to try to keep you as up to date here as possible so that everybody knows what to do. Again, not financial advice, but we're going to try to keep the heartbeat of what's happening with all the experts. We're going to stay connected to the on-chain data so we know when the whales are selling, when they're dumping, all that stuff, so we can share that with you. We may have some emergency videos as that time comes to let you guys know what's happening. So it's important to stay connected. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this information. We're going to try to put out as much good content as possible to help out. And again, I think you had another article to share?
No, that was really it for me. Why don't we hop into what you were going to talk about? Some great ideas on how your and my team can make a little side money.
Absolutely. Yeah, Side Hustle Thursday, but we wanted to just share that information. We thought it was really important, and it's time sensitive with the crypto market right now. And I think a lot of people are kind of, it's kind of a hot button, hot topic. So we want to make sure that we're keeping everybody aware of what's happening. But for Side Hustle Thursday, I wanted to focus on side hustles for teens. Whether you're a boy teen or a girl teen, we're going to have a few things for everybody, and everybody may not like everything. But you know what? These are things that are tried and true side hustles. And the first thing I'm going to start with is one that I know I did, and I think Chris did as well, cutting grass.
Yep.
Florida is the optimal place in the country to have a side hustle grass cutting business, right? Everybody pretty much has a lawnmower in their garage, push mower, maybe a weed whacker, a blower. I do, and I cut my own grass. And, my son has done it. He's knocked on doors. He runs the weed whacker and the mower down the street, and he cuts a couple of yards. And, if you wanted to really earn $10,000, you need to do 20 yards for $20 for 20 weeks. If you do that math, that's $10,000. And think about building a relationship with your client, right? Think about how many yards you have in your neighborhood. Yes, there's professional landscapers out there, but I know if a neighborhood family has seen you out there playing, riding their bike, whatever, and they see you going out there trying to hustle, and they're paying $40 for their yard, and you're like, I'll do it for 20 or 25. They may give you the opportunity. If you do a good job, they may keep you. And think about potentially 3 times a year doing flowers, planting 100 flowers, planting some other plants, doing mulch for their beds and their tree rings. These are all things that you can do to increase the revenue that you're getting from these 20 yards that are probably within walking distance of your house. That's easy money. That's how I did it. And then I lived in the north, so we don't have it down here, but snow shoveling, if you're watching from another area where you get winters, shoveling snow was, I couldn't wait for a snow day so I could get out there with my shovel and my boots, and I go out there and I do sidewalks and steps and whatever, and that's what I needed to do. And shoveling snow is even more lucrative because it doesn't happen very often, and it's something that some of the older people and people that don't want to get out there and do need. So
I had an old station wagon when I was in college in Canada that our snowblower would fit in the back. And on those snow days, I would shove the snowblower in the back of my station wagon and I would drive around. Right. And I could make $300 or $400 on a Saturday, while I was in college. Like, that's how I fed myself many, many days. But, apart from just making money, it also teaches your teen responsibility. How to be nice to people, being able to knock on a door and talk to somebody. Like, there's a lot of benefits of helping them to grow up.
Absolutely. If you're a teenage girl and you're not lawn mowing's not for you, which it could be for sure. I've seen many out there, but if it's not for you, think about babysitting, think about dog walking. These are simple ways for you to actually go out there and hustle. I struggle with how much time our teens and even our younger kids are spending on social medias and their iPads, and we try to limit, especially our younger child, limit the time that they're on. Our son is almost 18 years old, so it's tough to kind of pull his phone away, but you kind of have to roll with the ages, but you're hoping that your teen is going to develop some of these responsible actions as they get older. So pet sitting, dog walking, people got to go away on for the day for work, and they have their dog at home. Maybe they want to walk. There's younger kids in the neighborhood. Go knock on those doors and say, hey, just want to let you know, I'm 14. A good thing to do is maybe go to your local fire station or YMCA and just get CPR certified. That way you can tell the parent that I'm certified. And if you have references, give them to them. But those 3 are like bread and butter. They're easy, and all you have to do is be presentable and be pleasant, and sell yourself. People want to do business with people they like and respect, and especially if it's a younger kid in their neighborhood that's a good kid, right? They'd rather do that than go out and spend with a professional landscape company or professional babysitter or dog walker. They want to take care of the kids in their neighborhood.
Yep.
Another one which is very simple to get started is basic pool cleaning. I'm not talking about going out and repairing, skimmers and, pool pumps, but going out there on a weekly basis on the weekend, get 20 pools, right? 20 pools, you're going to be able to charge somewhere between $75 and $85 per month. You have to go out every week. So every Saturday you go out and you service them. And all you need to do is watch a YouTube video, how to test water in a pool, right? You go down to Pinch a Penny, which they're in pretty much every town, and you can get whatever you need for the pool and run it back to the customer, and you put in the chemical you need. That's simple. You get a skimmer, you get a brush and you brush it down the drain. There are super easy YouTube videos that explain how easy it is to clean your own pool. Well,
Yep.
It may not be your own pool. It may be, but it's the same thing that you're going to be doing to your neighbor's yard and then their neighbor's yard. So very, very simple way of creating a business. And again, the skills that you're learning by communicating with people and not just sitting there
Absolutely.
on your social media and chatting with people on social media, you're actually having real world communication, which is going to help you in your next step in life and your job hunt. So that's another option. Another one that we've said before in the past, but I got to reiterate it because these are things that you can simply do from your home is either drop shipping or reselling. You know, go on to Etsy, find out what's popular, go on to eBay, find out what's popular, then go to Wish, go to AliExpress, buy them, bring them in and resell them at a profit. You could be making 500% profit on some of these things. That's real money. It just takes time to do it, right? Learn how to do that. It's very, very simple. Another thing that's super cheap to get started, washing cars.
Yes. Bucket and a cloth and a sponge.
Right. I mean, I've seen people, I've driven around the guys out there with his van. He's doing them. Oh, how much do you charge? $150. Well, what are you doing for the $150? Well, I do the inside, I do the outside, I do the wax. Okay. Well, maybe you don't offer wax right off the tip because you don't know how to do it, but you can definitely do a wash and an inside clean with some Armor All and a vacuum cleaner and a bucket and a washcloth or a sponge and charge $50. Give them a value. You know, what's it going to take you to do inside and outside of a car? An hour and a half tops. If you're really doing a good job, $50 for an hour and a half. Come on. I mean, think about how that adds up and you get repeat customers. You do a good job and they're going to call you again. How often? Some people get their car washed every single week.
Oh yeah.
So you can have your Saturday schedule, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I mean, there's a reason why the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts and cheerleading teams and football teams, there's a reason why all of them are doing car washes.
Right.
Because you can bring in a ton. We used to do that with the Boy Scouts and we would bring in, we would charge $25 a car, which is still, if it takes you an hour to do a car, as a kid, you're making $25 an hour cash, which is, it's amazing. I agree, John. Love that.
Absolutely. Another one, which, there may be some investment, maybe there's something in the garage, is pressure cleaning sidewalks. I mean, you're going to use their water, right? You can go to Home Depot right now and get a small pressure cleaner. It may take you a little bit longer than some of the professional ones, but you can get one for like $150. Or you go on to Craigslist and you can get a used one for a couple $100 that still works. And you can get the circular spray that actually helps you go quicker on the sidewalks. Right. That's like $60 on Amazon. I mean, so with a little bit of investment, you can go out there and you can charge a couple $100 for their sidewalk and driveway. You could literally pay for your complete investment in the first job. One job and you're paid for, and now everything else is money in your pocket. So pressure cleaning, think about it. It's not hard. I've had my daughter out there, 12 years old, pressure cleaning. It's not hard. You got to teach them how to do it, but it's not that hard. And the last bonus tip that I wanted to give any of the teens or parents that are trying to teach their teens how to go out and side hustle, don't spend it all.
Right.
Wow.
Yep.
Seriously, invest. Get your mom or dad to set up an IRA, a Roth IRA for you that you can invest your money in. You can't do it on your own, but your parents can help you, right? Or a parent, if you don't know this, you can set up a custodial Roth IRA for your children. And here's a mind-blowing piece of advice. If you can get your child, as they grow into their early 20s, to invest at least $50,000 total in their first, let's just say 10 years, 15 to 25, and you don't ever touch it ever in your life, and you just have it in the stock market getting that 10% interest on an annual basis, they are going to have between $500,000 and $700,000 at retirement. Can you believe that without putting another dollar in? And imagine if they continue to put in their investment on an annual basis, they will be set. These are the things we got to start teaching our kids to learn the power of compounding interest and the power of time in the market.
Yep.
You can do this simple calculation, go to Google, type in investment calculator, right? Put starting age 25. Put in there $50,000. Type in 10% as your interest. Click calculate, and you'll see that those numbers are right on the money without any other dollars going in. That's the power of compounding interest. So that's it. That's all I got for today. How to hustle, how to make the money, and then what to do with it. That's more importantly. I'm not saying don't go treat yourself. Don't go treat yourself from time to time, but don't spend it all.
Right.
Just don't.
Yep. Absolutely. I love that. What do they say? Save, I mean, make yourself a ratio, whatever's right for you. I'm a big proponent for treating yourself. I mean, our hard work deserves some kind of reward, but, figure out whatever ratio is right for you. If you're going to save 20% every week or whatever that is, then, be committed to that.
That's an adult ratio. I would say save 80%, put 20% in your pocket.
Right, exactly. When you're a kid, it's probably the opposite. When you're an adult and we have bills and stuff to take care of, then it's certainly
for sure.
But hope you guys got some value out of that. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you think. Remember to like and subscribe. And as always, make today amazing. And we will see you on the next episode of Time Freedom Daily tomorrow. I'll see you soon.